Hey, no, I'm tone bot, no, I'm tone bot, no, I'm tone bot. We back, Ratchet Gang. We back with another one. We back with another banger. Let's get the likes up. Look, you might have forgot. Hell, they might have forgot. But you already know it's the king. Too loyal, no, I'm talking about Ratchet TV. Hey, y'all already know, man. Y'all already know. Get the likes up if you in the building. And if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button, tap that notification bell so you can get the drop whenever I drop. So boom. Man. We got to talk Ratchet Gang. We got to chop it up. Look, right about now, we got to get into this Ashlee Janae situation. Things are still not adding up. They being real quiet about this situation. They being real quiet. Hush, hush. Old Joe McCann, then tried to drop the bag out there in Africa to say, he getting away with this shit. But allegedly, they still got him hemmed up out there as this investigation heats up. Now, it's being alleged that Joe paid some people off. He had some friends. There's a friend that went in that room. They got proof that Joe set this whole play up. It's people coming forward to say Joe frequented that area. Like I've been telling y'all, he had a local girlfriend out there. He had local friends out there. He had local business deals out there. This dude went out there with the sole purpose to get rid of this girl, and he did just that. Allegedly. Allegedly. And everything I say is alleged. And it's all under the Fair Use Act. And you can see the fair use disclaimer in the description of this video and in the description of all my videos. This is just for entertainment and educational purposes only. This is just to educate my people on what we've been covering over here. Like I said, it's all under the Fair Use Act, and you can see the fair use disclaimer in the description of this video. And everything I say is alleged. Allegedly, y'all. So yeah, this is some stuff going on in this Ashlee situation, which this case kind of went under the radar all of a sudden. People were talking about it. Now it's kind of like everybody's kind of hush hush about this Ashlee situation, which kind of lets me know that there was some sort of ritual, or was there? I don't know if there was some sort of, what did I just say that? I don't know what I just said. But anyway, I think that there was something more going on in this situation than what meets the eye. I think that Joe went out there with the purpose of, he knows he's going broke. He knows that he can't afford this girl no more. She's on his back about him cheating. She already saying little stuff, and I think that they've been getting into arguments, and the arguments probably were about financial things. Ain't no telling what she was saying to him. There's a lot of people who've come forward to say they just didn't like the way Ashlee was. There's a lot of higher figure African American people in the community who just don't care about Ashlee Janae. I'm being serious. A lot of people just said, fuck this story. That girl got what she got. And that's how certain people feel. I can't tell nobody how to feel. But like I said, the girl deserves justice. She didn't deserve to die, no matter what her thought process was. You know what I'm saying? So I can only use my platform to try to get the truth out in some way, shape, form, or fashion. So Joe is a very dangerous guy from what I'm hearing. And we're going to share a few stories about old Joe McCann here in just a second. But before we get started, I want to say salute to all my moderators, salute to the green team, salute to everybody who is right here in the chat right now. So before we get started on this video, make sure you like the video. Make sure you comment on the video. Make sure you share the video. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. If you want to send some, oh, my light just cut out. If you want to send a donation, hold on, let me plug my light back in. If you want to send my bad, y'all. My damn light came on. All right, my bad. All right. Hold on, let me fix that. All right, there we go. All right, see, if you want to send a donation, you can do so by sending a super chat, super sticker, Cash App, $ Ratchet TV. I appreciate all that. But if you don't want to send no support, I mean, you can support by hyping the video up. You can support by liking the video. You can support by subscribing to the channel. So all that is appreciated if you want to send any form of support. So I want to start by saying thank you if you do send some support. All right. So are y'all ready to get into this Ashlee Janae, Joe McCann situation? Because this is a story nobody's really talking about no more. I feel like people are starting not to care about this story. And that's just sad and unfortunate for Ashlee, because she'll never get true justice if the people lit up off Joe's neck. If we get off of his neck right now, then she don't get justice, and he gets to get away with it and maybe do it to another girl here in the future, allegedly. So let's get into this story and let's see what's going on in this Ashlee Janae situation. Let's go.
Reported that Cardi B has offered to pay for Ashlee Janae's funeral. It's time to talk true crime and the question everyone is wanting the answer to: what really happened to Ashlee? Ashlee's death in Zanzibar has turned into a case filled with unanswered questions. There's growing public pressure and one major mystery: what happened in the 11 hours before her family was finally told something was wrong? As of April 19th, 2026, Ashlee's fiancé, Joseph Isaac McCann, has not been formally charged, but authorities in Zanzibar have seized his passport and were holding it. They say he's a key witness and they're waiting on final medical and forensic reports. So even though he has not been charged, he cannot leave the country. While social media showed a beautiful engagement, a birthday trip, hotel employees and staff say that that was far from the truth. Hotel employees report that allegedly Ashlee and Joe had been arguing since the moment they arrived. They had gotten to the resort on April 4th, and by April 8th, things had gotten so bad that the hotel staff reported Joe moved to another villa.
Okay, so right there, they've been arguing since before they came. They came there arguing the day they got there. Who the fuck goes to vacation and starts arguing the minute you get off that plane and touch soil? You supposed to be happy, so you just landed in Africa, Zanzibar, wherever the fuck you at in the world. It don't even matter, man. You could be anywhere. You jump on a plane and go to vacation. The last thing I'm gonna do is argue with somebody on vacation.
Then investigators and reporters started digging into Joe's financial life. Joe was the founder of a crypto hedge fund called Asymmetric Financial, but reports claim that the fund had suffered devastating losses. It's alleged that 80% of its value was gone. So, around that same time, questions surfaced about who was really paying for this luxury Zanzibar trip. Ashlee was successful in her own right. She had a strong platform, her own business, and over 133,000 followers. Some people speculate that Ashlee, not Joe, may have been financing the trip. And here's where this story really takes a turn, because here comes the questions about Joe's past. Reports said that Joe had previously been married, and there were also unverified claims about other relationships and even a child. That led to many people wondering and speculating whether Ashlee had discovered things during the trip that she did not know, like if she learned the truth about his finances or his past personal relationships while they were in Zanzibar. According to the hotel and Ashlee's family, Ashlee was found unresponsive on the night of April 8th, and then she was taken for medical treatment, but her parents were not told until 11 hours later. When Joe finally called Ashlee's parents, he gave them the impression that Ashlee was stable and not in critical condition. And this is so sad. Then the communication stopped, and Ashlee's family later learned that Ashlee was gone from hotel management, not from Joe. Now, that 11-hour gap is one of the biggest questions in this whole case. The family is requesting surveillance footage from the resort, including hallways, villa entrances, and common areas. They want to see exactly what happened during those missing hours. And public attention exploded when Cardi B spoke out on April 13th, saying she did not believe the official story. That alone brought millions of eyes to the case. Ashlee's dad also traveled to Washington, D.C. and met with the State Department. He pushed for stronger U.S. involvement, including the FBI assistance and access to the resort's surveillance footage. The family has also raised over $53,000 through a GoFundMe to bring Ashlee home and pay for an independent autopsy. So right now, where this case stands is Joe is still in Zanzibar and the investigation is still unfolding. What do you think happened? Do you think Ashlee self-deleted, or is there something more sinister going on? I just can't imagine that she would have done this to herself, in my opinion, allegedly. Stay safe and please like and follow for more true crime.
Yeah, I don't think she did it to herself. I mean, I think it's but at this point, I think that's the obvious. I think everybody knows she didn't do this to herself. Let's continue.
I tried not to go down this Ashlee Janae rabbit hole, but none of the information that they're putting out is making sense. And I believe that her so-called fiance knows way more than he's saying he does. Let's start off with the fact that he never told anybody that they had an argument, that they was fussing, that they were staying in separate rooms. So it came out that hotel staff had to separate them and put them in different rooms because they was arguing and fighting. But Joe never said that. Also, it's a couple of other things that just don't sit right with me. So I went down that rabbit hole. It doesn't look like Joe is happy in any of these pictures. And I didn't notice that till I seen a video of a lady breaking down every single picture. And I started to notice it myself. Now, I'm going to say a couple of things without saying them. I just want you to pay attention. You know how we do. I need you to zoom in on Joe's face. Just zoom in. Tell me what you see. As a matter of fact, we're going to go back to this picture right here. Zoom in on Joe's face.
And when you do look at Joe, the vibe you get from Joe is that he's a fucking maniac. He just off appearance, he looks crazy as hell. The dude, he just gives off serial unaliver. He gives off something sinister. But then when you go deeper into their relationship, you start to see that Joe is never happy with her. Every video that they ever did together, every picture they ever took, the dude was just looked miserable around this woman. And I mean, I don't know. They could have been happy. I don't know. I'm just saying, just based off of appearance, Joe just didn't seem to be that happy with Ashlee Janae. That's just my opinion. I could be wrong. Like I said, I could be wrong. I don't know. To me, just based off appearance alone, Joe didn't look, he just didn't look happy with the girl. So, and a lot of people on social media started to notice that shit too as well. So let's continue and get to the next video. Give me 1 second while I load this up.
Just said yes. A proposal in Zanzibar, a place that looked like paradise. Everything about it felt perfect, like the beginning of a new life. Her final posts showed a woman who was happy, at peace, exactly where she believed she was meant to be. There were no warning signs, no visible cracks, nothing that suggested what was about to happen. But just a few days later, everything was over. Ashlee was found unresponsive inside a luxury resort, and the man who was with her, the man who had just proposed, didn't call right away. He waited 11 hours, and when he finally called her family, he said something that only made things more confusing, that she was stable, but she wasn't. And that's where this story begins to fall apart. What happened during those 11 hours? And why doesn't any of it add up? If you want to follow this case step by step, every detail, every timeline, every unanswered question, make sure you subscribe now, because we're going to stay on this story until the truth comes out. Before anything went wrong, everything about Ashlee Janae's life looked exactly the way people dream it would. She wasn't just another traveler posting photos online. Ashlee had built a presence, over 100,000 followers, people who didn't just watch her life, but felt connected to it. They followed her for the way she moved through the world, effortlessly, confidently, as if she had figured something out that others were still searching for. Her content wasn't chaotic, it wasn't dark. It was intentional, sunlight, ocean views, carefully framed moments that felt real but elevated. A lifestyle built around exploration, beauty, and the idea that life could be lived fully if you were willing to go after it. And this trip to Zanzibar, it wasn't random, it was a celebration, her 31st birthday, a proposal, a turning point. From the outside, this wasn't just a vacation, it was a milestone. The kind of moment people remember as the beginning of something new. In the days leading up to what would become her final posts, everything seemed aligned. She was traveling with the man she was going to marry. She was in a place most people only see in postcards. And she was documenting it, not in a way that felt forced, but in a way that felt certain. Then came the post, a photo, a caption, simple, quiet, almost reflective. I'm exactly where I need to be. It didn't sound like someone searching. It didn't sound like someone struggling. It sounded like someone who had arrived. And that detail matters. Because in cases like this, people often look backward trying to find signs.
Yeah. So everything that was going on out there just didn't lean into someone thinking that she's not going to make it out of this trip alive. You know what I'm saying? No one's looking at nothing she posted out there like a red flag. It seemed to be, everything seemed to be working perfectly in her favor. Her life looked perfect and peachy at that point. So let's see what the fuck went wrong.
Robinson, according to her family, was a light. She's the oldest of 6. She loved traveling the world. And they told me that they're very confused, honestly, by the lack of transparency about the investigation and the lack of communication from Robinson's fiance.
Fiance did not reach out to us at all. We found out from the hotel, and that's devastating when you're no contact with anyone from the medical field, like that. So, that's the message. Just transparency. We have no idea what happened. Like, we just don't know anything right now.
And so far, we have been unable to reach Joe McCann, his relatives, or anyone from the investment company that he founded. The State Department says it's monitoring this case.
Something that was missed. Something that explains everything. But here,
so they can't contact none of his friends. They can't contact none of his family members, none of his co-workers. They can't contact him. This dude is a ghost.
there's a problem. Nothing about Ashlee's life, at least publicly, pointed to instability. There were no visible fractures, no sudden shifts in behavior, no signals that something was wrong beneath the surface. If anything, the opposite was true. This looked like a woman stepping into a new chapter, not someone at the edge of one. And that's what makes everything that follows so difficult to understand. Because when a story begins in a place like this, in certainty, in clarity, in peace, what happens next doesn't just feel tragic, it feels disconnected, like two completely different realities forced into the same timeline. And somewhere between those two realities, between that final post and what happened just days later, something changed. The question is, what? And then everything shifts. Because the next confirmed detail in this story doesn't match the world she had just shown everyone. Ashlee wasn't found outside. She wasn't found in a public space. She wasn't found somewhere visible or easily accessible. She was found inside the villa, unresponsive, in a place most people wouldn't even think to look first. A closet. Not the center of the room, not near a doorway, not somewhere that draws attention. A confined, enclosed space, hidden from immediate view. According to initial reports, a member of the resort staff was the one who discovered her. By that point, something was already wrong enough to trigger concern. But what they walked into wasn't a situation that could be quickly explained. Ashlee was found with a belt around her neck. That detail alone shifts the tone of the entire case, because now, this is no longer just a sudden medical emergency. It becomes something that requires explanation.
It does, because who the fuck puts a, you know what I'm saying? Who does that? And I'm not trying to get into the mind of someone like that, but you would just think there's more options for her. You know, you could have popped some pills or whatever. You could have, I don't know. It's just, it just doesn't seem, nothing about that just sounds like that's what happened. Let's continue.
Here's where things get even more intense with the Ashlee Janae and Joe McCann situation, because new updates just dropped from the Director of Criminal Investigations and people on the ground in Zanzibar, and it's not looking simple at all. A lot of the information coming out is actually in Swahili since it's coming straight from locals, but don't worry, nothing is getting lost here because everything is being broken down clearly. From what's being said, Ashlee and Joe were already clashing the moment they arrived in Zanzibar, and it wasn't just small disagreements. It was heated arguments right from the start. And it gets worse because Joe wasn't just some random tourist staying at the resort. He was familiar with the place, like really familiar. Reports are saying he would leave Ashlee alone in the villa and go meet up with local women, which caused even more tension between them. That alone had people raising eyebrows, because cheating like that in a whole different country, that's messy on another level, and it doesn't stop there. There's also talk about Joe having a friend in Zanzibar who ended up being questioned, plus rumors about Ashlee's engagement ring being found with what looks like blood stains on it. That detail alone has people online going crazy, trying to piece together what really happened, because nothing about this is adding up clean. Here's where things take a more official turn. The Director of Criminal Investigations reportedly laid out a timeline, and according to that, Ashlee and Joe checked into Missouri Hotel, Villa number 25, with plans to leave on April 10th, 2026. But things went downhill fast because their argument got so loud that someone staying in Villa 24 actually alerted hotel staff. That's how serious it got. Because of that, staff decided to separate them, moving Joe to Villa number 65, which is said to be about 8 to 10 minutes away from Ashlee's room. Later that same day, around 7:30 p.m., one of the hotel attendants was doing his regular evening rounds and stopped by Ashlee's villa. She asked him for a phone charger, and he gave her his. Then he continued checking other villas nearby. But here's the detail that has everyone talking. Ashlee told him to come back after about 10 minutes. According to the report, the attendant returned after roughly 20 minutes instead. He knocked, no response. Lights off, complete silence. That's when things started to feel off. So he used his emergency key to open the door, and that's when he found Ashlee hanging from the wardrobe.
So, because somebody got your charger, you can just use your key and just go into her damn door. You couldn't call. Why would you feel something was off because somebody asked you for a charger and then went to sleep?
Wardrobe rod using a gray bathrobe belt. That moment right there is where everything shifts. The report says she was still alive but struggling when he found her, which is why he immediately raised the alarm. They rushed her to the nearest hospital, and then she was transferred to another facility for more specialized care. But sadly, she passed away the next day around 3 p.m. That part alone has left people shaken, because it means there was a window where she could have been saved.
Yeah, and the reason why she wasn't saved is because I don't think that no one was ever finna save that girl. I'm gonna be real. I don't think that the key was to make her. I don't think it was to bring her back home. I think Joe wanted her right where the fuck she is.
Starting the next chapter of her life. She called us and FaceTimed us to share with us her trial. Ashlee did something to herself and that she was being taken to the hospital. I said, what happened when? And he told me it had been 11 hours prior.
Now here's where confusion starts building online, because people are questioning the attendance timeline. Some think it makes sense. He needed his charger back, maybe his shift was ending, and that's why Ashlee told him to return quickly. On the surface, it sounds normal, but then locals started speaking up and everything started to feel a little off. People in Zanzibar are saying Joe wasn't just familiar. He knew the area, the system, and even the people working there. That changes everything, because now some are questioning whether the timeline was actually structured in a way that clears him too easily. Think about it. He's placed in a villa 10 minutes away, and then a staff member conveniently discovers Ashlee within a time frame that makes it seem impossible for Joe to be involved. That timing feels a little too perfect to some people. And that's why suspicions are growing, because instead of looking like coincidence, some believe it could be a carefully arranged sequence to eliminate doubt. Locals are even suggesting that Joe understood how things worked behind the scenes, including the possibility of influence or bribery. That idea alone has added a whole new layer of tension to the case. On top of that, reports are now saying around 10 people were brought in for questioning, including hotel staff and one of Joe's friends who is also in Zanzibar. That detail is huge because it shows this situation is way bigger than just two people. Joe wasn't isolated there, he had connections, and that's making people look at everything differently. And then there's the part that really has people questioning things. Ashlee's family is still waiting for full autopsy results, even though reports say it's already been completed. That delay is raising serious concerns because in a case this serious, why keep the family in the dark? Right now, nothing about this situation feels settled. Every new detail is raising more questions than answers, and the deeper people look into it, the more complicated it becomes. Now, here's where things start getting even more serious, because Ashlee's family is not staying quiet about how this case is being handled. Her father literally had to fly all the way to Washington, D.C. just to push U.S. officials to step in and communicate with authorities in Tanzania. And even with that kind of pressure, they are still not releasing her body or the full findings.
And I don't think that they're going. It sounds like he got his hands deep into politics in Zanzibar. But I just told y'all he frequents that area so much. He's worked behind the scenes with these people. He's put deals together. He's the politicians out there. Especially you go out there with some racks, they need that. You know what I'm saying? So shit can be bought in a country like that allegedly. I don't know what I'm talking about. Allegedly. Let's continue.
Since Zanzibar claims she committed suicide, her parents, relatives, and friends are, however, not convinced. Translation, neither are we, but we don't want to get involved. You are involved by the declaration of this letter, where you're clearing your name, but you are not also showing empathy to the family, because it would have been wonderful if you had said that Ashlee was wonderful here, we enjoyed her time here, and we send our deepest condolences to her friends and to her family. If there is in any way that we can help, we do not hesitate to give you all of the records, to give you all of the CC footage, to give you all of the cameras. We also would like to know what happened to her, and we stand by honesty and integrity. Kesara Sera, then we would have been okay with it. I am not okay with what you have written here, even though you have given us clarification. So, my darling Fumi Nation, this is what I have for you. This is the update. We do not have any autopsy yet. We do not, even though it has been said that they have completed all of this with Ashlee. They still have not released the body to the family. Well, the family, I don't know yet. Drop it down in the comments if they have arrived in Zanzibar to come and take Ashlee home. Again, Ashlee, I'll do everything I can. I will do everything I can, and I'll be here every day. What is delayed is not denied. What is delayed is not denied. It might take some time, but we'll get there. And that goes also for Shanquella Robinson.
R.I.P. to Shanquella, R.I.P. to Ashlee Janae, man. Those are two sad and unfortunate situations that we had to cover this shit. But I mean, Shanquella still to this day hasn't gotten any justice. Like, what the fuck ever happened to those friends? The Cabo Six. I ain't heard about none of them. You hear like, oh, someone's getting arrested and someone. I've always said I don't even think them people even existed. I think that this was all just some mind trick, bro. Like that was the whole play. Them were like created characters. I don't know. That Shanquella story is that's a whole nother story for another day. We'll get on that shit again some other time. Let's continue.
Where trouble of the lodge in Kilimanjaro started. According to the executive director of several wildlife, Fahad Nassar Hamoud, many of the photos of Ashlee and her lover Joe McCann circulated online are those taken at several, and now the whole world thinks she died at the lodge. Before her mysterious death in Zanzibar, Ashlee Robinson played with lions at the base of Mount Kilimanjaro. It goes on to say, Ashlee Robinson, the young lady influencer from the United States of America who died under mysterious circumstances in Zanzibar, was actually engaged by her boyfriend while staying at a lodge located on the base of Mount Kilimanjaro. In fact, her engagement took place at the climax of the walk she took alongside lions in northern Tanzania. Ashlee, who was popular by her online identity of Ashlee Janae, had apparently started her Tanzanian tour itinerary by visiting the several wildlife lodge located in the Sanya Jew ward of Siha district at the foot of Mount Kilimanjaro. Several is a property where visitors can mingle with a variety of wildlife species while at the lodge. And sure enough, Ashlee, who loved to post her adventures online, took hundreds of photos and videos with the animals at several lodges, then splashed the footage on Instagram, TikTok, and her other online accounts. Now, this is where trouble of the lodge in Kilimanjaro started. According to the executive director of several wildlife, Fahad Nassar Hamoud, many of the photos of Ashlee and her lover Joe McCann circulated online are those taken at several, and now the whole world thinks she died at the lodge. Ashlee Robinson, 31, and her boyfriend Joseph McCann, 48, a cryptocurrency dealer, reportedly spent 3 nights, 2 days at the property in Kilimanjaro region. Beg your pardon, my darlings. Hamoud, the director, said the couple spent 2 afternoons of activities including posing for photos with the wildlife species at the premises. They also undertook the walking with the lion escapade, because these are all packages, you understand, that they sell to the tourist. The man later surprised the lady with an engagement ring here at Serval Wildlife Lodge, he said. In fact, as it seems, even the Ashlee birthday party was previously arranged and held here at the Serval property, according to Nassar Hamoud. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
So as you see, the higher-ups is all involved in this shit out there in Tanzania as well. But this is needless to say, because I just told y'all he has connections to all of these people. Everybody knew that they was out there. Everybody knew what the fuck was going on, man. They set this girl up, and they still haven't delivered that body. Let's continue.
As Ashlee's friend, I'm tired of everybody coming on this fucking app with their opinions, with their thoughts, with their conspiracies of what they think may have happened to my friend. It's clear as day that this man murdered and killed my friend. He tried to stage it as a suicide. Let's put that on the floor. Number one, Ashlee would never harm herself. Ashlee was beautiful, happy, talented, hardworking. She had no reason to. I was just speaking to her, and I have the messages of while she was on this trip. Number two.
Y'all, this situation with Ashlee Janae has left the internet completely divided. On one hand, there are people who want justice no matter what. And on the other side, there are those who 100% believe that Ashlee might have deserved what happened. Long before she went on her trip, there were people reportedly in her comments warning her to stay away from Joe McCann, only for Ashlee to clap back, claiming that they were all jealous of her new relationship. And with Ashlee's second IG page exposing her as a sugar baby, the internet is starting to dig into her lifestyle and the complicated relationship she had with Joe McCann.
I'm noticing that black men only speak on black women getting murdered when it's a white man doing it. Y'all kill us every day. Black women get strangled, stabbed, shot. But when it's a white man do it, that's when you say something.
Girl, it feels like every day we get to learn something new about Ashlee Janae and who she was behind the glam of her IG lifestyle. Just to give you a refresher, Ashlee and her boyfriend, Joe McCann, a crypto businessman, traveled to Zanzibar, Tanzania to celebrate her 31st birthday. As the holiday went on, Joe proposed to her, and Ashlee reportedly called her family and friends to share the good news. She also talked about it on social media. However, a few hours later, word got out that she had died. A lot of things just weren't adding up, especially when it came to Ashlee's relationship with Joe. After she passed, he said absolutely nothing, not even a tweet, and he's wiped off every picture from his IG page. Folks who knew Joe before the
And look, he still ain't said shit. You ain't got to talk about him not saying nothing to me. That dude still ain't made no damn statement about Ashlee.
Incident said that he never posted Ashlee on his page, even though he was all over hers. The only personal posts Joe had on his page were those with his wife. On top of all that, Ashlee's family revealed that Joe has not contacted them, then even launched a GoFundMe to bring Ashlee back, which is kind of confusing. Because if Ashlee has no money, how is she portraying a very expensive lifestyle on IG? She and Joe were going on trips at the drop of a dime, and she showed off the luxury clothes and gifts she had. All that, and there's no money in the bank? What's really going on? Well, the internet started asking questions, and it didn't take long for something to come out.
Didn't take long at all, because you know the internet gonna find everything, every detail about somebody's life. The internet undefeated.
Ashlee was not just an influencer in Miami. She was reportedly a well-known bottle girl and video vixen, and had good relationships with entertainers around Miami. A person who personally knew her wrote, "No one's saying it, so I'll say it." Ashlee may be an influencer now, but everyone in Miami knows she was a stripper. Joe met her at a party she was literally working the pole at. She danced in his section, and ever since, they've kind of gone around the world fighting in luxury hotels for the last year and a half. This wasn't even the first time they became engaged. It was the second. It's also not the first time the police were called to break up one of their fights. He is currently the subject of a financial crime investigation. He was taking profits from investments that were actually at a loss for years and got caught out there for doing it. He's rich, janky, older, has a massive power imbalance with her, and in my opinion, picked her because of that. Who knows what happened that night? May she rest in peace and may her family find the truth. But this was 100% a very openly sugar baby on steroids situation. Source: I know them personally, and we have many mutual friends. Ashlee was also a major face in the divestment community and was basically big on dating outside.
The sugar baby, sugar daddy situation. Stripper meets the trick. Allegedly. Stripper meets the trick. Stripper meets the trick. Crazy, crazy, crazy.
Her race to find a better life. She made tweets saying, "Same ninjas bashing black women are the same ninjas calling me a traitor for dating a white man. And I've been saying since the 3rd grade that my children will be mixed." When she started going out with Joe McCann, Ashlee made it clear that she was raising her standards emotionally, financially, and lifestyle-wise, because she wasn't about to entertain relationships that don't benefit her growth. By posting pictures with this big-time crypto CEO, Ashlee made it look like she had won the game. However, according to critics, how she got there was as messy and complicated as it gets. While Ashlee posed as a lifestyle influencer and occasional video vixen, she actually had a whole nother IG page where she advertised to her customers. It was through this page that Ashlee and Joe met before they linked up physically at a party. Joe and Ashlee made their relationship public around November 2025, when they celebrated their 1-year anniversary.
Do you know what really made me sad? And I don't know whether you caught it. I've been looking for it, but I know as fact because I took some pictures from that page. Ashlee had another Instagram page. It's been taken down. Somebody has taken down that second Instagram page. Why? Because you see, there's an old saying, when you start to throw water, if you throw water at a wall, it goes in every direction, not just one direction. Which means that as we are going to expose Joe for who and what he is, it's also unfortunately going to expose Ashlee for what she was doing. We also find out.
That's true. That's true. Not only are you going to expose Joe for who he is, you're going to expose Ashlee for who she was. It's unfortunate, but the truth has to come out because I like this angle of things, because when you cover cases, you can't just make someone be an angel and just say, oh, they need justice just because they were an angel. No, they need justice, but they were out here fucking up. Let's get to the real story and the real scoop of who that person truly is. And this is who Ashlee truly was. I mean, doesn't mean she deserved to die. Just this is who she was. Let's continue.
What's crazy about it is around that same time, Joe was literally out here talking about his wife and young kids. Does this mean that he and Ashlee started seeing each other when he was still a married man? And if Joe was such a devoted family man and was married until recently, did he get a super fast divorce? Or was he technically still married when he proposed to Ashlee in Zanzibar? Word is that Ashlee wasn't Joe's fiancé in the traditional sense, and the proposal might have been done for the sake of appearances. Ever since they met, he's fulfilled her dreams of a soft life and basically traveled with her around the globe. However, the only problem was that Joe grew increasingly aggressive, and they fought almost all the time they were together. One of Ashlee's friends actually confirmed that the fight at the villa wasn't the first time the two of them got into it, publicly saying, "This is also not the first time he did something of this nature to Ashlee. Joe, you are going to rot in jail." But for whatever reason, Ashlee continued to stay until it escalated to this. However, her friends are not about to let the narrative of Ashlee being an escort fly.
Known her since about 2021 to 2022. Everything that everybody's saying couldn't be further from the truth of who she was as a person. And it's bad enough finding out and having this be the way that I found out about Ashlee and everything that she's been through. But it's almost traumatizing to see how people talk about her in the midst of this devastating loss.
They showed text messages proving that the engagement was real, and Ashlee was looking forward to her future with Joe. Joe Budden also let it slip out that he knew Ashlee and was surprised to find out that she was already doing school runs with Joe when their relationship was still so young.
They're none of the romantic choices. But if that's your own girl and you love her and they vouch for that person, Ashlee and homeboy was at my birthday dinner. Yeah. Mm-hmm. They were at my birthday dinner. And I invited Ashlee the last 2 years to my birthday dinner. So this year I made it a point to get on the phone. Like, yo, this is the year. What's up? You gonna make it? And she was on some shit like, yeah, you know, just gotta check with my man. And I know we gotta drop off the step kids and we gotta pick them up from school and they're on spring break. And I'm on the phone like, girl, for real? Like, yo, you playing stepmommy over there?
Her friends also explained that Ashlee was a businesswoman with a thriving hair care brand. This was the main source of her soft lifestyle. However, it's difficult to find a business page on social media belonging to Ashlee, and I can't imagine that she ran her brand completely offline. For her friends, these escort allegations are nothing more than cheap attacks on her character. And even if what's said is true, it doesn't change the fact that a young woman went on a vacation and never came home. Whether she was a businesswoman, a lifestyle influencer, an escort, or anything else the internet wants to call her, nobody deserves to end up like this. And as you can imagine, people have a lot to say. Let's demand that Zuri Zanzibar drop the CCTV footage from that night that led up to Ashlee Janae's untimely death. We are asking for full transparency. What makes this even harder to process is that her last post was literally her feeding a giraffe with HBD Ashlee spelled out in rose petals at her feet. That was April 5th. She was gone days later. Nobody saw that coming. Ashlee Janae deserved to live. But it's sad that the community she praised and divested into is not here to advocate for her in her death.
My bad, my damn dogs started barking like a motherfucker. I don't know what the fuck they in there doing. But yeah, Ashlee, This is sad, and this is just sad and unfortunate, bro. Like at the same time, you start finding out she had star friends, she had elite friends. They were powerful couples behind the scenes. But then again, it's like, are y'all really a couple? Is it serious? I thought that this was just some escort trick type ish. So y'all taking it further, and y'all are going to be a couple. Y'all gonna get married now. Y'all get she's stepmom, stepkids. But meanwhile, he's not even posting her as stepmom. He's only posting the real mom, the wife. He ain't even acknowledging the fact that they even in a relationship, but behind the scenes and in parties in the nightlife, he's with her. But then in the daytime, he's with her, but he's pretending like he's not. Joe, I don't know, bro. I think Joe did it. It's just my opinion. The more I look into the situation, the more I dig into the situation. Joe, Joe, Joe. And I don't think there's no other direction that any of us need to go. We just focus right in on Joe McCann. That's the culprit. That's your number one suspect, your prime suspect, and that's the person that is responsible. Even if he didn't directly do it, he's indirectly responsible for Ashlee Janae's death. Just my opinion. I think that he had whatever was going on behind the scenes with them. I don't know. She was finna expose some ish. I don't know what, but he had already been abusive to her. He'd already done things to her out in the past on vacation out in different countries. He's done things to her. He's been violent to her. This is who he was. He was a narcissist, a master manipulator. Joe McCann is a dangerous dude, but Joe McCann is trying to get away with murder. He is attempting right now to get away with what we all know he was responsible for, and that's the death of Ashlee Janae. So if you're enjoying the content, make sure you like the video, make sure you subscribe to the channel, make sure you comment on the video when it ends, make sure you're hyping the videos up. And if you want to send a donation, you could do so via Cash App, $Ratchet TV, or send a super chat, super sticker, whatever. I appreciate all the love and support we've been getting. So if you liking the uploads, and you want to continue getting these uploads throughout the day, throughout the week, make sure you send some support. If anything, just like the video and subscribe to the channel and just comment on the video, whatever, hype it up or something. I don't give a damn how you support. Just send some form of support. Just a like is good enough. Trust me, the likes are just as good as anything. So with that being said, salute to all my moderators. Salute to the green team. Salute to everybody in the chat. We will get back to more stories. That David case. I did a David video earlier. If you missed that David video, go back and watch that. That was a powerful, crazy video. Go back and watch that David video. All right, as always, this your boy Big Ratchet. That's Ratchet Gang, and this is Ratchet TV. And I love y'all more than y'all. I love y'all more than y'all will ever know. Trust me, I do. I love all y'all, each and every one of y'all. And thank y'all for all the love and support y'all do give me. And until the next episode, I'm gonna holler at y'all, man. Like I said, it's your boy Big Ratchet. That's Ratchet Gang, and this is Ratchet TV. I don't know what else we're gonna be covering, but we're gonna cover all the stories that need to be covered. All right. With that being said, I'm gonna get at y'all on the next video, whether it be a live or an upload. I'm gone.